welcome back. Yes, that was his back. Alright, welcome to the Drunk Doctor Who Heroes and Villains, episode number 46. Today is January 29th, 2024, which we just did the NIS episode, but we forgot to mention the date. Hope you enjoyed the NFC and AFC championships yesterday.
Oh,
those are some good games. Well,
spoilers.
They probably already know, but on the one hand, Kansas City won.
Oh, we like Kansas City, right?
Yeah, Mahomey, yeah, played for Tech. And then on the other hand, the 49ers won.
And we don't like that so much.
No, we don't like that. We were rooting for the Lions because they've never, ever been to a Super Bowl.
Oh, they made it.
No, they didn't. They were beaten by the 49ers.
Oh.
These were the championship games, and in 2 weeks they played the Super Bowl. And the Lions...
So it's going to be Kansas City versus the 49ers?
Yes, in Las Vegas.
For the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I thought the Super Bowl was like close to Thanksgiving.
No.
Is it always in February?
Late January traditionally. Now it's moved into early February. Yes.
Oh, okay.
As they've added more weeks to the season. We used to have 16 weeks to be the last weekend of January, but they added the 17th and then eventually an 18th week. So now it's usually the second weekend of February.
For more money.
Yes, for more viewership. More money. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so hope you enjoyed the games. And right now we're talking about Tegan. Tegan.
I feel like I like Tegan more than you did.
You did. I found her way too whiny. Like, she was constantly whining.
Not so much that. Yeah. She would. What she would do is she would voice the errors and concerns of So the companion's role is always, to kind of be the viewer in that
the
situation.
Soundboard.
Yeah. They represent the viewers at home, right? They're more youthful. They don't know what's going on. They need to have things explained to them so that the audience can have things explained to them, and
usually more youthful. There are some companions who are older looking than a doctor down the line.
But more relatable to the audience than the doctor is usually.
Yeah.
Because you have Batman and then you have, the more relatable character, Lois Lane. I don't know. But they're asking the viewers, or they're asking the doctor the questions the viewers would be asking. Right, so
and they voice their concerns that the viewer would be asking.
And Tegan, I feel like, was the first person to kind of break through that screen of, hey, this isn't a children's show. This is dangerous stuff we're doing. Almost died. This is risky.
Not the first one. Other companions have left on more or less a similar note and for similar reasons. Who was the young lady that left in? The one with the
sailor, the two blondes.
Victoria.
Oh, okay.
Victoria leaves in the one where the doctor's got the sonic screwdriver, actually unscrewing screws the first time. Mm-hmm. The monsters of the deep or whatever, or the menace of the deep or whatever, and she had enough of fraught and danger, and she sticks around on Earth with those scientist people.
Yeah.
But she had reached the end of her tether the exact same way that Tegan ends up doing. Mm-hmm. But she doesn't whine for 3 seasons about it.
Yeah. She started off in this, Cloud9, living the adventure. Then as the journey got rough and she got put in danger multiple times, you kind of see that character reach her breaking point. Whereas Tegan's different because she immediately voices concern, like in the moment. Like she goes, hey,
all the time, every time. And she starts off, but there's the funny thing. Mm-hmm. She's one of the few characters to leave the Doctor, or to leave the show twice.
Yeah.
Because the doctor initially leaves her behind. Mm-hmm. She manages to catch up to him. And then she leaves him.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm so glad I found you again, even though I've been complaining for a year and a half. Now I'm going to complain for another year until I finally decide I've had enough.
Yeah. She was saying, I need a break. I've been put... And the doctor was the one that told her, like, you're tired of us. You're done. This is where you...
And he leaves,
yeah. You leave. And she goes, oh, what? I didn't mean now. But... And then, yeah...
Eventually.
She comes back, but by happenstance, just by...
Right, in Amsterdam.
Yeah, but what are the odds of that? Run into the same companion.
It happens a time or two. It does happen a time or two. Mm-hmm. I mean, the same way the doctor ran into Sarah Jane Smith, and then run into her later down the road.
Yeah. I feel like I enjoyed Tegan more because she very much filled the companion role for me, because I would think something and then Tegan would say it.
Okay. Like, then you're directly relating to it, yeah.
Yeah, so I always felt like she was asking the questions that I would ask in that situation, or she'd like voice whatever was obvious.
Well, to be fair, she was the only human in the TARDIS at the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, when she gets in the TARDIS, there's Adric, and Nyssa joins quickly, although she'd been in the previous serial. Mm-hmm. And then you quickly end up with Chameleon and Turlo. Mm-hmm. None of these are human except her. Mm-hmm. She has to be the one you relate to.
Yeah. And I feel like the Doctor kind of... I'm going to put this in a very negative tone, but... he kind of walks over his companions, right?
At times, yeah.
Yeah, and he kind of, waves them off. He doesn't give them the sound explanations. He goes, "I'll just do it and don't ask questions.
I'll explain later," which he never does.
And Tegan was the companion that did not put up with that. She would give the Doctor back every bit of his own personality. She'd...
Correct. Now the Fifth Doctor is nowhere near as bad as the Sixth Doctor is in terms of dealing horribly with companions. But yeah, she shows up barely in Legopolis at the end of Tom Baker and watches him transform with the Watcher and all that.
Right.
Yeah, and then
that was a weird regeneration.
Yeah, the Watcher thing is odd, and there are weirder ones down the line. It stays pretty standard for a while, and the most recent one is screwed up. Really screwed up.
Looking forward to it.
We'll see. Speaking of which, that brings me some information. When we were doing our last regular episode, 141, the battery was dying because the Two Doctors was a long serial and we had a lot to say about it. Yeah, so we didn't switch to another battery. We just left a few things hanging. One of those things was upcoming Doctor Who news and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So we left that hanging because we just wanted to quickly finish up before the battery died. And I'm going to try to remember to repeat this information in our next regular Doctor Who deal, hopefully next Monday. Next Monday. And because if people only watch the main show and they don't watch this, they need to get that information as well.
Yeah.
So I just got the...
Doctor Who news.
Yeah.
What's new?
Oh, wait, hold on. Let's finish up with Tegan.
Okay.
Okay. So I found her annoying. He didn't find her as annoying because he related with her more. I may have related more to Adric back in the day because I was good at math and I was male and I was a lot closer to his age when I was seeing those originally. You are closer in age to Tegan at this point because you're, like I just said earlier, your character's about 27 and you're what, 29, right? 28, yeah. No. So yeah, you're right there in the same age bracket with her. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I was a kid. I always found her incredibly annoying. But she asked the questions that need to be asked. I just wish she did it in a tone like Nyssa and not in her tone.
I liked her more in the fact that, the Doctor would have companions that were, his niece or a robot or someone that just fawns over him and he just walks all over them. And they'd ask a question, and he'd be like, "Oh, that doesn't matter." And Tegan, granddaughter, did I say niece?
Yeah.
And Tegan would just not put up with it, and she wasn't afraid to talk back to the Doctor and kind of put him in his place when he needed to be. And I'll agree that she kind of was overzealous in that and probably did it more than was necessary. Mm-hmm. But it just felt nice to see a companion kind of standing up to the Doctor and talking back and saying, "Hey, no, that's not okay."
Correct, and you're gonna love Donna. Donna. She's one of my. I love her. She's one of my favorite companions from the modern era.
The one with the baseball bat?
No, that's Ace.
Oh, okay.
And Ace, yeah. Okay. Okay. Favorite cereal with Tegan in it, just like we did for Nissa, mm-hmm. and favorite cereal or your favorite performance of Tegan.
My favorite performance of Tegan, and it wouldn't be my favorite cereal with Tegan, was probably when was it Mark of the Rani or Snake Dance, where she has the tattoo. Snake Dance, yeah, and she's.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Yeah. That was her best, most interesting and creative performance.
Yeah, by far. Even the thespian was like, "What? You're so good at this. You have to be in the show." And she just it was very convincing.
Yeah, and she spent like half an episode in her own head, mm-hmm. inside that other area with those people, and mm-hmm. she had to deal with that. And then she had to deal with being indwelt by that thing, and she played every single part and role beautifully.
It's great. Yeah. I feel like my favorite cereal with Tegan, probably not so much in terms of cool factor, is just more kind of a nice melancholy companion kind of moment, was when she left the show, and then when she came back, you saw her in her regular life. She was going back to being a stewardess. She was talking about
gotten laid off family. Or something.
Yeah, she got a new haircut. She was back to Tegan, and she kind of felt, refreshed. That she wasn't haggard and felt like she was
had to get home. Yeah, she didn't have a job she was missing, and that's the reason she got fired and all that. Mm-hmm. No, one of the interesting things about her is that second run of hers. She was only gone a little bit, but the mm-hmm. second run of hers is some of the deadliest episodes of Doctor Who.
Yeah,
you've got 4 or 5 stories in there where everybody dies except the Doctor and his companions. Mm-hmm. Everybody, mm-hmm. and then even one of his major companions dies. It was just nuts.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, that last one was a 72 body, a 72 person death count.
Which one?
The one where Lytton shows up the first time.
Oh, the Daleks one?
Yeah, Resurrection of the Daleks, where Tegan leaves, the serial after Nissa leaves. Mm-hmm. It was like boom, boom.
Yeah.
And they had just picked up Turlo. Well, they just picked up Chameleon, and then before that, Maldred Undead, they just picked up Turlo. So you get Turlo and then you get Chameleon, and then boom, boom, 2 serials back to back, we lose major companions. Mm-hmm. And she leaves out with that one, but that's the one where, there was a body count of 72.
Yeah, certainly.
Just nuts.
Raucous.
Ooh, crazy. Everybody dies. But there were several of them like that. There's just several different serials were just, especially in the 6th Doctor's era, or the 5th Doctor's era, where just everyone who's not a companion of the Doctor, and even sometimes some of them just die.
It was definitely when the show was trending towards a darker
it had gone
than it had been.
Right, and then you get to the 6th Doctor, he's choking out his companion, But yeah, once that scene, which the Doctor was pushed underwater in the Deadly Assassin, and then the one where the plant was choking out the Doctor. I can't remember the name of that serial, but
Mission to the Unknown.
No, much later.
Oh,
but they're both Fourth Doctor serials. And they pushed it past the watershed, past the afternoon into the evening. They were like, well, we're now no longer a children's show, we're a family show. Let's go what we can do, you know?
Doctor Who After Dark.
Yeah, well, they never did anything like super sexual, thank God. But that's reserved for Torchwood. We'll get there later.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh?
One of the spin-offs of Doctor Who is...
That's the animated one, right?
No. No.
That's Scream of the Chocolate.
Well, that is an animated deal that is the only non-canon, and there were a couple of other animated deals done for the Fourth Doctor, or probably the 10th Doctor, but you may be thinking of Shada, which was finished up with animation.
Oh.
Yeah. Scream of the Chocolate and Shada both sound so similar. Yeah, it's easy to mix up the names, yeah. And that one was the Fourth Doctor serial that was finished with animation many years later. Alright.
So we had Tegan, then we lost her, then we saw her again, and now we lost her again. Do we ever see Tegan again?
Yes.
We do.
Yes, the power of the Doctor. She comes back in that serial.
Oh, that's the main... That's not like third-party stuff.
No, that's the main show. It was the New Year's special last year.
So... she had to be popular to some extent for them to dismiss her and then bring her back. And then bring her back much later down the road.
I don't know. A lot of times, the companions leave because their contract's up. Sometimes they leave because they're unpopular. Sometimes, in this case, we don't know if she was unpopular, or if she needed a break, or if her contract was under renegotiation. Don't know.
Do you think that means they had to pay Dodo like a severance fee or something for... Do you think
her contract was up, she was gone. And Tegan has the benefit of coming back now. And I don't know if she was popular back in the day. I didn't like her. But I didn't have a huge group of Doctor Who friends, you know, and to pull.
I'm sure there are like the boys and the girls had different favorite characters.
Very possibly. But she has come back in the modern stuff. It helps that she's still alive. Although, to be fair, there
does help.
Yeah, it does help.
Make it harder if she
Yes. There are other companions, like Jamie McCrimmon, who we just saw in The Two Doctors.
Yeah, we did.
That actor is still alive.
Yeah.
But his mind was wiped, and he was left in 16th century Scotland. So it's much harder to bring him back, whereas she was left in current day Earth and aged appropriately. Fraser Hines is the actor who plays Jimmy McCrimmon.
Oh, cool.
All right, but yeah, we do see Tegan again.
We do.
In 2023.
Oh, that recent?
Yeah, like I said, New Year's Day special last year in 2023.
Last year, what? Cool.
Yeah. And I think there is a good possibility that she, as well as several other old companions, are going to wind up in a unit show spin-off. We'll see.
How do you feel about those spin-offs? You gonna watch them?
I like them, generally speaking. If they're good, awesome. You know? Torchwood was fantastic. Class, not so much, you know? Sarah Jane was really good. K9 was unofficial. It was not. It was. It was not BBC produced, unofficial. That one was. But there was K9 and Company that I liked, but it didn't get continued. But if they're good, awesome, and they add to the rich tapestry that is the show and the universe of Doctor Who, and you can bring the characters back and interweave them, and we do see a good bit of that in the new stuff.
Cool. How would you feel about like a medium shift where Doctor Who would be losing popularity, losing money, and to save the show they go, well, we can't afford to film it in live action anymore. We're going to do all animated. Do you feel like that something that would kill the show for you, or would you keep watching?
No, I mean, I saw Scream of the Shakla when they were doing that.
Oh, that's because they were out of money or something.
They were trying to bring back the show or continue it animated. And then they decided halfway through the animation process, no, we're going to bring it back live action. But they were so far into the animation process, they finished that up and just said, okay. Yeah, no, I've got no problem. All right, Doctor Who news.
Doctor Who news.
Okay, so, yeah, I have right there. This is the Blu-ray.
New Blu-ray.
For the Underwater Menace, finished up with animation.
So are they going to be coming out with them on 4K? Or are they stopping at Blu-ray? Because there's only so much upscaling.
Right. I think they'll stop at Blu-ray. Okay, so the Underwater Menace, now out in both the UK and now the US. Picked this up a little bit before our last one. Oh. Didn't get to mention it because we ran out of time on the battery. And within the next 3 months, we have the Celestial Toymaker is coming out on animated Blu-ray.
Cool.
Because they have 2 different teams working on them simultaneously now, the animations. We don't know what the next one's going to be. They haven't announced that yet. And we have the colorized, expurgated version of the Daleks. So as part of the 60th anniversary stuff, they wanted to take some of the old serials, the black and whites that are super long, colorize them, which apparently the colorization is great, and edit them down to a normal length of an hour and a half to 2 hours to make a movie out of it.
Oh.
Now, they chose the Daleks in the first place, which is kind of weird because there's already the movie that they did, Doctor Who and the Daleks. So we already have a version of that. But
in color and everything.
And the next one they're going to do
feature length
is
more Daleks.
Yeah, is the Invasion of the Daleks, which we already have the movie of. Yeah. So, but they keep working on these, and I think this is where the extra money went from Disney. I think part of it got plowed into the show, for better budgets, but I think most of it is going to finishing up these. And for the side shows.
Yeah, you gotta get those DVD sales.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Coming out with
Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do when they finish up all the box sets and all the animateds and go.
They'll find something.
We can only put out one Blu-ray a year because we're only doing 6 episodes a year. But anyway, so those are coming out. This one did. The other 2 next month, month after. Then I think the Daleks colorization. Then I think the Celestial Toymaker, and then we get season 20. I believe Davison's middle season. I believe April, the month after that. Cool. And I will try to remember to repeat these in our next regular podcast, so that and I've got the dates in here, but the exact dates. But I'll make sure to mention those here for the States on the regular podcast with that.
But you heard it here first.
Hopefully, yeah. Wait, there are no dates as of yet. In the United States for the 60th anniversary specials or the Christmas special, the church on Ruby Sunday Road or whatever it is, which we're starting to move far out from the actual airings.
Right.
And Disney has a problem. They don't like releasing things on physical medium because they like the control. But this isn't Disney's. Disney doesn't own this.
Yeah.
They have a lot of influence over it at this point because they're providing so much money. Which, when Disney collapses, I don't know what's going to happen. But I will feel a lot better once I get some dates for last year's specials to be released. Because
think they're going to do like a digital only release?
Or just keep it on their streaming service and you have to subscribe to that to watch it. That would be horrible. So hopefully in the next 2 or 3 months, we should have those dates announced to be released.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, they may. Here's what I'm hoping is that they're just going. This was January. The Daleks is February, colorization. Celestial Toymaker is March. Season 20 is April. And I'm hoping they're just kind of waiting for a slot to drop it in rather than make them too crowded together. Okay. But I would love to have it. I would love to have a date.
Yeah.
I don't want Disney to do their thing and not release it on DVD or Blu-ray, you know?
Yeah. Be nice just to have the date.
Yeah, I want to keep collecting the DVDs. I don't want to stop here, you know. Simpsons. I had the first 20 seasons and then they stopped putting them out. And I can only get the rest on Amazon.
Yeah, that's a real possibility for Doctor Who.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, you can't make a collection like this. It doesn't look anywhere near as nice digitally.
Yeah. You just have to burn it on your own discs.
Okay, so we're just now getting to complete some of the companions that showed up with Tom Baker, and we're already 2 Doctors later. We have a list over there, the 5th Doctor, the 6th Doctor, a bunch of companions and enemies. We're going to get to when we do cleanup after this Doctor, hopefully. Because we will have this and the Celestial Toymaker and all those others to do cleanup.
And then we have...
And our first third-party deal.
Favorite of...
Oh, yeah.
Tom or Davis.
No, yeah, we didn't. We did the 3 that we had, the 3 seasons for for Peter Davison, but we didn't do our favorite of those 3 or his number 1 serial. And we'll do that next time during the regular show. What were the 3 stories that were the 3 during his tenure?
Season 21 was the 5 Doctors.
Yeah, as you do.
Season 20 was Modron Undead. That was a good one. And 19, Earthshock. Rest in peace, Adric.
That's going to be tough to choose from. Those are 3 good stories.
Solid lineup.
Yeah.
We have a whole week to think about it. To do well on it.
And we will see you next Monday.
See you next Monday.
Yay! Okay. Bye-bye. Time Lash.
Time Lash. Oh. I hate when I get a time rash.
Time Lash.